Kupiansk's strategic value stems from its railway network and its proximity to the Oskil River. Since 2022, it has been contested ground, occupied, liberated, and fought over in a brutal grind of offensive and counteroffensive actions. By late 2025 and early 2026, renewed fighting concentrated on Kupiansk's central districts as Russian forces pushed from across the river. Ukrainian defenders, reinvigorated and reorganized, prepared their own decisive operation. Visual guidance. Animated map of Kharkiv region, showing rail lines and front lines. Archival footage of Kupiansk from 2022 to 2025. Oskil River crossing scenes. 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Planning and the Phantom Line. Behind the front line, Ukrainian commanders and intelligence analysts charted a path through contested neighborhoods. This was urban warfare. Slow, methodical, unforgiving. For every fallen wall, a story of strategy and sacrifice. Visual guidance, briefing room reenactment, annotated operation maps, drone footage of Kupiansk layout. Before dawn, the reconnaissance and strike group of the 4th Battalion, part of the Kharkiv Brigade, moved in. Body cam footage, released by the unit, shows soldiers clearing streets block by block, facing entrenched resistance from remaining occupiers. Visual guidance. Body cam clips, close quarters. Combat reenactments, exterior shots of City Hall. In the heart of Kupiansk, the assault reached its climax. Soldiers reached the city council building, the symbolic and operational core. Ignoring sniper fire and debris, they climbed to the roof. One by one, they raised Ukraine's flag, every second a testament to grit and unity. Visual guidance. Shot reverse shots. Soldiers on the roof. Flag unfurling. Reaction shots of troops on the ground. The firefight didn't instantly end. Small pockets of resistance remained, mopping up operations were underway, and Ukrainian units continued securing key routes and checkpoints, ensuring that the flag over City Hall would not be merely symbolic. Visual guidance. Soldiers searching buildings. Audience shots of local residents surveying the damage. This victory carries tactical weight. Securing Kupiansk stabilizes Ukrainian positions in northeastern Kharkiv and helps protect lines of communication. It also sends a clear message. Ukraine is not yielding its ground even in harsh winter months. But the human toll runs deeper. Families who stayed behind, children witnessing war, and towns transformed by conflict. Their stories reflect both resilience and the high cost of freedom. Visual guidance. Interviews with displaced residents, archival comparisons of Kupiansk before and after. The Ukrainian flag over Kupiansk is more than symbolic. It's a signal to the world that resistance persists, that strategy and resolve can change what seemed frozen in time. In this long war of attrition and spirit, moments like these remind us what's at stake. Not lines on a map, but lives, futures, and the unyielding will of a nation. Visual guidance. Slow pullback of Kupiansk skyline. Quiet moments of soldiers reflecting. Fade to black with soaring score. In the high-stakes game of modern warfare, perception is often more powerful than reality. For weeks, the Kremlin broadcasted a single message. Kupiansk has fallen. They even decorated generals for the victory. But as the smoke cleared on a cold December morning, a different picture emerged. Not of a Russian conquest, but of a catastrophic trap. This is a story of how Ukraine didn't just defend a city. They vanished a Russian army corps in the shadows of the Oskil River. Kupiansk is not just a city. It is a pulse point. Since the days of the Russian Empire, this has been a vital railway junction, the knot that ties the Donbass to the Russian border. In early 2022, it fell almost instantly, handed over by a mayor who chose collaboration over combat. For 6 months, it served as the lungs of the Russian occupation, pumping ammunition and fuel to the front lines of Izium and Sloviansk. To win the East, Ukraine knew they didn't need to take every trench. They just needed to cut the knot. September 2022. The world was watching the South. While Russia moved its elite paratroopers to defend Kherson, General Oleksandr Syrskyi saw an opening. What followed was the fastest territorial gain since World War II. In mere days, Ukrainian forces bypassed Russian strongpoints, leaving pockets of confused occupiers behind. By the time the Russian command realized the threat, Ukrainian tanks were already in the suburbs of Kupiansk. Fast forward to late 2025. The war had changed. Russia attempted a silent infiltration, using an abandoned underground gas pipeline to sneak troops into the city's center. It was a ghost invasion. But the Ukrainian 2nd Kharkiv Corps was waiting. They didn't just block the pipe, they turned the city into a kill zone. Using search and strike groups, they isolated 200 Russian soldiers in the city hospital and basements, cutting their supplies until the only way they could receive food was by drone. It was a siege within a siege. The impact was immediate. Without Kupiansk, the Russian offensive in the north stalled. Putin's claims of full liberation were exposed as fabrications when President Zelensky appeared in the city center, just miles from the contact line. The Russian Zapad group of forces had suffered a humiliating blow, not just in men and materiel, but in the information war that sustains the Kremlin's domestic image.